and I'm here to talk about the power of ideas. Now, I'm also going to use a bit of my phone because I haven't come here prepared. I've just started scribbling some notes after I came in here. So you have to excuse me if I sound a bit incoherent as well. I truly believe India's time has come because a lot of people say this. A lot of people keep talking about what a great opportunity that India presents today. There is a great saying. It goes, nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. I truly believe this is going to be India's decade. This is going to be India's century. And why do I believe that? Why do I sincerely believe that India really has arrived on the world stage? That is because we are talking innovation, we are talking knowledge. And what has India got? India has today got the world's largest think force. More than 50% of our population is less than the age 27. Now that the world is aging, India is getting younger. And this generation of Indians has a certain aspiration, has a certain ambition, has a certain aggressiveness, which was hitherto never ever seen or exhibited anywhere on the world stage. So truly, I am a firm believer that India and the power of idea combined is going to propel us, is going to take us to the next level altogether. Now, I'm going to shamelessly also borrow from a lecture that I've heard about, I think, a year ago. Ajit is here. When we were launching RICH, the Research and Innovation Circle of Hyderabad, trying to harness the research that happens in our institutions, use it, leverage it, make it applied in the regular domain that we all live and work in. We had Mr. Mashelkar, R.S. Mashelkar, who came in as the chief guest that day on our invitation. He said something which has really, really left a very strong impression on me. He said, what India needs today, we talk about innovation, we talk about disruption, we talk about knowledge economy, we talk about the business opportunity that India is, etc., etc. He said three things, which I think were truly my take-home message that day. He said, what India needs is not leapfrogging. People talk about how technologies can help you leapfrog. He said, India cannot make do with leapfrogging anymore. India needs, truly, to pole vault. We need that kind of propulsion systems. We can't make do with leapfrogging. If India really has to join the league of first world countries in the next 10 years, and for those of you, who are still naysayers and a bit cynical about how India can, cross that chasm or cross that barrier, there is a solid example which has evolved in the last 10 to 15 years right in front of us. Having a phone, a landline, was a rarity. You had to, it was called PPE number. I don't know if some of you could relate to it, Pakinti wala phone number, the neighbor's phone. That was such a luxury, having a phone, having a landline. You had to know somebody in the government. You had to get a recommendation letter from a member of parliament because BSNL was the sole entity which could give you a phone connection. But look at it now. Once this thing has come on and taken center stage, today, more than 1 billion phones in India, and more than 40% of them are smartphones. That is what is pole vaulting. That is not leapfrogging. We have just completely leapfrogged, pole vaulted, and broken many, many barriers. And today, even the common man of India, the Aam Aadmi of India, has access to this and has the power and completely to leverage the power and ability of using a smartphone. He also said something which is equally important. I know there are a lot of venture capitalists here, but I think what India truly needs, when we talk about all the things that were exhibited, that were talked about, we had Share Chat, which talked about fantastic things, communicating, conversing in multiple languages other than English, the vernacular. He was absolutely right, Ehsan. He said, everything in India changes every 150 kilometers. Absolutely. Our culture, habits, speaking, dialect, everything changes every 150 kilometers. So you need local solutions, you need solutions, recipes, and formulas that are developed for India. You cannot merely copy and paste what is being employed elsewhere in the world. For instance, as a Minister of Information Technology and Urban Development, I get pitched on multiple ideas from various companies. So I had a representative of an American organization coming in talking about smart cities. He said, sir, we have a wonderful solution. I said, what is it? He goes, if somebody cuts into your lane abruptly, on a highway or on a Hyderabad street, I can send you an alert to your command control center. Well, I looked at him and I said, fabulous. But can you give me an alert when somebody is actually heading at me in a one-way street? He said, why would you need that? I said, welcome to India, welcome to Hyderabad. Point is, I think what works or what worked in Los Angeles, Barcelona, Europe, will not work here. We need Indian solutions. We need very, very local solutions. We need our own recipes, we need our own formulas. But if we need our own formulas, if we need our own recipes, then people sitting in Sand Hill Road or Bay Area have to open their purse strings, have to be a bit adventurous. What India needs is adventure capital, not venture capital. We cannot make do. We need people who are willing to bet big on India and innovations in India. And this also, again, like I said, I've shamelessly borrowed from Marshalkar. And I truly believe India needs that. The third thing he told me, which left a very lasting impression. He said, people talk about best practices. How can we imbibe from the best in the world? Why you should not reinvent the wheel? Why you should not worry about discovering everything afresh? He said, that is also not going to work. This is not the age of best practices. This is, if India really has to evolve, pole vault, and really propel itself to greatness that it has always been destined for. What India needs is the next practice. India needs to define the next practice, set the next benchmark for the world and for itself as well. So these three things, most certainly I think, hold true. These ideas hold true for any change that you want to bring about. The other thing I'll quickly mention, the power of an idea. As I've said, nothing can stop an idea whose time has come. I'm not talking Apple and Newton. I'm not talking Apple, the Apple we know. Apple and Newton, right? I'm going to talk about three other things besides the mobile phone we just talked about. Today, we live in a world where the largest transporter does not own a vehicle, Uber. We live in a world where the largest bookseller does not own a bookstore. And we also live in a world where people like Elon Musk have redefined the way we think, the way we used to think at least, and the way the entire paradigm has shifted. Point I'm trying to make is, nothing truly can stop an idea which really has the ability to shift the entire paradigm, to shift the entire conundrum that we face on a daily basis. There was this, when Detroit, talking about Elon Musk, Detroit was the hub of the entire automobile industry in the United States. The 3D mantra they talked about: define, design, deliver. This was the 3D mantra that was espoused. But later on, the young guys in Stanford, the young guys in MIT, the young guys in Harvard, the way they've come about and the way they've started building this knowledge economy, the innovation economy, the ink economy, the ink world, as we call it. Today, there is a new mantra, the 3I mantra: innovate, incubate, incorporate.
చెప్పండి, ఇంగ్లీష్లో చెప్పండి. క్యాస్నివాల్కి సంబంధించి మీ హెడ్ ఆఫ్ ది కాస్నివాల్ ఎట్లా కొనసాగుతుంది, అందరు విద్యార్థులు అందరిని ఎట్లా లీడ్ చేస్తున్నారు, ఈ ఫన్ ఫుడ్ ఇదంతా కూడా ఎట్లా జరుగుతుంది?
So before I get to what Casnival is, I'd like to describe what CAS is. CAS stands for Creative Action Service, and it's a core component in the IB diploma program. And every student who's aiming for a diploma in IB should work for this CAS component and should have a certain amount of community service hours and certain amount of community service projects. So now moving on to Casnival. Casnival is an event that connects education and environment. And now why do I say this? Is because it's a bridge between education and environment, because if you see across this field right now, our students have set up stalls and are acting as young entrepreneurs. And they now, in the pursuit of that, they deal with different mindsets, different behaviors and different customers, different tastes and preferences. They learn how to speak, or they learn how to sell their product. So that's what Casnival is about in the educational aspect. Now coming to the environmental aspect, right opposite to our school, there's a lake that my department is willing to adopt. And through adopting that lake, all the proceeds from this event, or all the cash funds that we've collected over the past 2-3 years, will go to that lake in reviving its biodiversity and securing it from encroachments. So this is the holistic idea of this event here. And to again not make this completely environmental or not make people aware of what exactly is going on, I made this event a little more fun while adding different components such as an oak jail, a jail which you can pay people to get you can pay people to get arrested and you can pay them to get bailed again. And we have something unique called spin art, which is run by our students. Spin art is something when you cycle and you put paint, the art automatically it paints itself. So like that, we have several unique activities this year, and our students' talent has been enacted through this event. This is technically the first non-lockdown, non-COVID restrictions event in Hyderabad, in my school at least, because last year also we had an open carnival, but unfortunately due to COVID restrictions we couldn't have a bigger crowd. But if you can see right now, the ground is full and we're expecting a good number of 4,000 to 5,000 people today, which all of them who are the participants and contributors to our league.
What applause getting from your teachers and from the parents?
Now, let me say this. Education is an obligation for me, and CAS is a passion. I'm extremely passionate about this because I've always been associated with this department of CAS since 9 years. Since I was in my middle years, till now in my senior school, I've been associated with CAS. And with Casnival in specific, I was associated since 2016. So, in simple words, I can say that Casnival is something integral of me. When it started, I was here, and now when it's concluding, also I'm here. In a span of few months, I'm going to graduate from Oak Ridge and go to a different school. But I'll have that satisfaction that I could conduct the event of my dreams that I've been dreaming since my childhood. So along with that, my teachers are extremely supportive when it comes to conducting CAS events because they understand the community morals and ethics, and they understand what Oak Ridge is all about that. They teach their students how to be more conscious about how community is responding towards environmental issues or global issues. So that's how we shaped in Oak Ridge, and my teachers are extremely supportive and extremely confident that our students are going to do a great job today.
Especially attacking the oak jail, what do you say?
Firstly, I put my principal, my managing director of North Anglia, and also my program coordinator in jail. I paid 200 for each and I put them in jail. And later, 3 of them colluded and put me in jail. So that is what it's all about. You have fun while contributing to the environment. That is that's the holistic approach of this event. So Oak Jail in specific talks about how, as I said, how you can pay people and you can get them in jail. And similarly, you can get them bailed out as well. So today, students are extremely enthusiastic to put their teachers in jail, and teachers are extremely enthusiastic to put their students in jail. So that is going to give us revenue. So I am extremely enthusiastic to get the revenue from these jails.
And also say something about the cycle painting.
Spin art. As you saw in the morning, Madam Minister Savita Indra Reddy Garu has also visited that. She was like astonished by the creativity and talent of our students. And she also said such ideas will be replicated in government schools. And not only that, she's also said that these initiatives of environment and climate change or in the sustainability will also be replicated in government schools through such initiatives or student development programs, which made all of us, the community of Oak Ridge, extremely happy. And if you can see, the spin art is also something first time in Hyderabad, because that technology is not yet developed. And although it is, our students have got different machines and got it together, and then they've started the spin art. So I feel extremely proud to be the CAS president of 2022 to 2023 because I've conducted such a large-scale event, and yeah, that's about it, about my CASnival and my journey in CAS department. Thank you. It's better, Gada?